your default mode network is the opposite of mindfulness. It's mindlessness. And in order for us to really benefit from focus, mindfulness, and all the things that everybody preaches all the time, go meditate, you focus on one thing at a time, beware of the switching costs. You can't multitask, which are all true.
Yeah.
Too much of that equals... The thing of trawling the internet that I came across was Andrew Tate.
Whoa, top G.
Top G. He was saying that what overcomes gravity? Speed of. I mean, I've got a pilot's license, and I understand when you put air over a wing at a certain speed, you're going to generate lift. And he was saying that if you're going fast enough, gravity doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter.
I think handling problems, looking at it from that lens, handling problems while you're going fast makes it seem almost every problem is insignificant. It will resolve itself the moment you slow down. So I'm going to relate to what you said with sales. When our sales are very high, like nothing phases me. The level of complexity of problems that I was able to resolve when we're doing really, really well is like I'm a magician, man. And I think it's that mental preparation or that mental talk that whatever I touch turns to gold or salt. But when sales are slower and I'm not moving as fast as possible, creating that lift, everything is hard.
Yeah. But I think you touched on it there, and that is that mental state that you're in is all perspective, and that's perspective around everything you touch turns to gold or sold, is either positive or negative self-talk. And if you read some of the psychology circles, positive self-talk gets you momentum. So, for instance, I'm coming here this morning, and I was late. I'm sorry. And it wasn't my fault. It was the traffic's fault. Yes, I could have left earlier, but what must I spend 2 hours getting to Mactown? So success is really defined in terms of, or should I say the foundation of success is defined in terms of how you talk to yourself. So on the way here, I phone you, Bobby, I'm really sorry. This is what the GPS says. How many times have you found yourself late for something, and then what do you start doing in your own head?
Negative talk.
Negative self-talk.
Yeah.
And that negative self-talk sets you up for failure.
Agree.
Because everything becomes negative. Everything in your day becomes negative.
Perhaps you should say, this happened for me, because if there wasn't traffic, maybe there's a guy, this is how I process issues, maybe there's a guy like Bobby does sometimes, checks a WhatsApp or checks something on his phone and misses a red robot and drives into you and plows into you and kills you. So maybe that's why.
Always a reason. Yeah. But that's positive self-talk, right? Yeah. So you can frame it any way you like. It's positive self-talk. Is taking a 50,000-foot view, looking at the situation and finding the positives. Okay, I've phoned Bobby. I've communicated with him, told him the time that I'm likely to get there. It is what it is. All right, what else can I do? I can be bored. I can use the time to reset my brain.
So there's a concept that we spoke off camera that's very fascinating. Can you unpack it a little bit? Because how do you go from this to this? And we don't, because normally we right bang in the middle.
Yeah.
So Please, I would love the audience.
I had to look it up because I keep forgetting the name. It's called your default mode network. So I can use the analogy in terms of hot and cold water. If you put your hand in water, whether it's hot or whether it's cold, can you tell me what the temperature is?
No, you can't.
You can't?
You can't. You can take a guess, but you can't. No.
All right, so let me unpack it in a different way. Take your hand. You can try this at home. Just don't burn yourself or freeze yourself.
For $200,000,
you can freeze.
I can freeze you.
Put your hand in a bucket of ice water for 2 or 3 minutes.
Goes blue.
Okay.
Starts going pink first. And
have another bucket next to that with room temperature water. Take your hand out of the cold water and stick it in the room temperature water. What are you going to feel?
Cold water, I think.
You're going to feel like that water is warm.
Oh, yes, makes sense, because the difference in temperature. So it is warmer than that, but it's not warm.
It's not hot.
I got you.
Yes.
I got you.
Okay. And similarly, if you've been in a sauna before.
Every day of my life, almost. Unless it's like 10 dudes there and it's a sauna for 6, then I don't go in.
So if you're in a sauna, or if you've heated your body up in some way, I do this if I take a long run and then I do an ice bath. It's easier to get into that ice bath when your body is hot
than when it's cold.
Than when it's cold. And so your body notices temperature differential. And your default mode network is the opposite of mindfulness. It's mindlessness. And in order for us to really benefit from focus, mindfulness, and all the things that everybody preaches all the time, go meditate, you focus on one thing at a time, beware of the switching costs. You can't multitask, which are all true.
Yeah.
Too much of that equals burnout. Too much go equals burnout. So how do you avoid burnout? So there's lots of ways, but one of the ways you can avoid burnout is mindlessness. And that is and the way to activate mindlessness is being bored. Actually being not stimulated by anything from the outside at all.
Interesting. Amazing. Like your day, most of my day is there's some structure to it. That this is what I do first and second, but most of the time it's very loose, because this thing happens right now. We have to attend to this. Then it's the next issue. Then I have to have a 4-minute talk with someone. So it's not the same thing every day. But I'll look at Sundays. Sundays is my day off with my wife and with my 2 doggies. And if I have a stressed out Sunday, I'm going through the sheets, and this customer, I feel I can just, if I have one more conversation, I can help this customer and his family. I can close him on this deal. I can help the salesperson there. If I do that the whole Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday for me is not productive. But if I spend 2 hours in the garden, watering the plants, cleaning the pool, and just being mindlessness, that concept that you brought forward, then it's like I'm not more relaxed, but I'm more excited about the next day's task than if I worked on it the night before, over preparing for the next day. That's how I understand this concept.
Yeah. So it's almost like if you're constantly focused, right? There is an opportunity cost. I love the term. I learned it in economics at university. I love the term opportunity cost. I bring it into everything. It's not just a financial term. What is the opportunity cost of being constantly focused?
Maybe your level of execution goes down because you're not going back and forward. You're chopping wood instead of climbing up a tree and looking at where we're going to chop.
Well, you're exactly right. The thing you're focused on is to the exclusion of things you could discover.
Got you. Beautiful. I like it. I'm stealing it.
So what you're focused on, the opportunity cost, is to the exclusion of things you could discover. right? When you're mindless, so when you sit back and you don't let outside stimuli stimulate you, right? You just in your own head. You're not practicing meditation, because meditation is bringing your thoughts to the here and now, that sort of practice. It's really just letting your mind run about whatever, just being bored, absolutely looking at the fucking sky, being bored. Suddenly, things come to mind that you thought you had forgotten because you're not focused on anything. Watering the garden is a good example. It's mindless.
Yeah.
Driving is another. Driving is what I use to be mindless. Nothing going on in the car except for maybe sometimes if I get too bored, I'll use ChatGPT. But being mindless while driving. There's different things stimulate different people in different ways. Or should I say, create that mindlessness environment. And then you start to realize, oh, hold on a second, I haven't thought about that for a long time. Why? Because I've been too focused on this.
Boom. A good idea comes up.
And then that's when your creativity really happens. Is when you're mindless, not mindful.
Love it. Thank you.